Hello everybody, I just thought I'd whip up your white chocolate mousse cake today. I've made it a couple of times in work and it goes down quite well. And Paula Tovey asked if I could make it, so I just thought I'd make it and see if I could put a smile on your face and all your family's faces. Alright? Thanks.
Thank you. If you'd like to just leave it by the bush and I'll come and collect it. Thanks, Helen. Lifesaver.
Hello again. Right, so I'm going to make something else today. I'm going to do a cake. Been requested by Paula Tovey, so I know she likes this one, so I thought I'd make this one for you and obviously everyone else. So it's going to be a white chocolate mousse cake. The mousse that goes around the edge is all white chocolate, and then it's made with two cakes which you sandwich together. But the difference with this one, it's quite a light sponge, there's no butter in the sponge, so all you need to make the cake really is some plain flour, a bit of caster sugar, you need 6 large eggs, and a pinch of salt, and then you mix them, whisk it all up, and it goes from this much to this much, and then you pour them in the cake tins, and then you bake those off. But you start off with the mousse, because you have to put that in the fridge to chill after it's melted for an hour to an hour and a half. So with this one, you need 400 ml of Essentials Waitrose double cream. It's not the healthiest, but we've got to smile through these times, haven't we? And you need 250 grams of the Waitrose cooking white chocolate. So what you do first, heat the cream just to under boiling point, see when you see a few bubbles around the edge, because you don't need to boil it. And then you pour it over the chocolate. So with the chocolate, I'll show you in a sec what I've done to prepare that, but I'll just put the cream on and then I'll come back to you. There we go, so that's the cream on. So what you do with the chocolate, I just cut it up a bit and just make it smaller, because what you have to do with the cream when it's warm, you have to pour it onto the chocolate and melt the chocolate. But you do it in 2 batches. So you put half of the cream on to the chocolate, let it sit for about 2 minutes just to get that initial melt, because you want it all to melt, and if you pour it all in one, it won't melt in time before it all goes cold. So give it a stir after the first 2 minutes, and then pour the rest of the cream on, then cover that, put it in the fridge for an hour to an hour and a half, and then you whisk that up later after the cakes has been baked. Okay, so that's the cream and the chocolate that have been poured on. So they've been in there for a minute or so. You can see it's kind of melted, but you just have to give it a stir until it's mostly melted, and then add the rest of the cream. So you can see it's kind of in there. You just need to get it all combined together, and then add the rest of the cream that's in the rest of the pan. There you go. It doesn't look like much, but that's basically it, how you melt it all together. Sometimes there's a couple of lumps left, but don't worry too much about it. Leave it out of the fridge for about half an hour to cool down, and then put it in the fridge for an hour to an hour and a half for it to cool and go and thicken up a bit. There we are. Right, so making the cake now. So it's 6 eggs and 150 grams of caster sugar, just in I'm just using my KitchenAid mixer, and you have to put it on high speed for about 8 minutes. If you've got like a hand one with the 2 prongs at the bottom as well, that works fine as well. I've done that before, but I wouldn't do it if you didn't have either of those, because you just wouldn't be able to. You'd be absolutely knackered. So I'll show you what this looks like in a couple of minutes. All right. There you go, so that's the mousse cake. You can kind of see how it's tripled in size. It's gone quite thick, holds like the number 8 over the top for a while, and that's when you know it should be done, but you can see how thick it is there, and lovely. Okay, so these next you need to sieve in the flour, do it in 2 parts, and just you have to fold it in really lightly because this is just air in here, and that's what's going to make the cake rise. There's a pinch of salt in there as well, but sift it in 2 goes and just take your time folding it. So I would fold it maybe for a couple of minutes because sometimes the flour gets a bit clagged in there. And then I've got 2 lined tins, well not even lined, they're just greased with butter, and then they just need to go into the oven at 180 fan, 200 degrees C if it's not fan assisted, for 12 to 14 minutes. And I'll show you what they look like when they come out. What I was also meant to say, when you put them in the tin, just pick them up and drop them once or twice, just to knock out any air bubbles that might disturb the cake's baking. But yep, they're all in the oven, so I'm just going to get cleaned down and ready for the next stage. So that's the cakes out of the oven. I'll show you what they look like and what you're looking for when you take them out, okay? So this one's been out a little bit longer. It was on a higher shelf. One on the bottom shelf might need a bit longer, but they come out quite high and then they sink, but don't worry because that's what they're meant to do. And you can kind of see, like around the edge, they started to sort of pull away a bit, and that's what you need to look for as well, that they're starting to pull away from the sides. I've also used this fancy thing just to run a knife around the edge, just to loosen them up, and you can see I've inserted a skewer, and if it's got like cake mix on it, when you pull it out and the time's up, it still needs to carry on baking because it's not done. But you can see this one I've taken out a little bit later, it's a little bit higher, but it will sink down as well. So yeah, I just leave them in the tin just for maybe 5-10 minutes, just to let them sort of settle down a bit. And then because I've used these springform ones with the loose, you have to best to use a loose tin base, that's what it says. You can just open it up and just let them sit and take them off when they're cooler because they'll be easier to handle. So that's the double cream and the white chocolate in the mixer after it's been chilling for a while, so it goes a little bit thicker. When you put this in the mixer or your hand mixer, just put it on really slow and keep your eye on it all the time because it splits quite easily. If it does split, you can put a bit more double cream in and just mix it back and it comes back together. But yeah, just keep your eye on it until it goes quite thick, because you need to spread it on the cake. This is what your mousse will look like after it's been whipped up. So you can see it's all nice and thick. I've placed one of the cakes on just a plate and just to sort of start building it on the plate. It's so light, so start putting it on the plate. I just got like a rotating cake board as well. I find it a bit easier just to smooth it all off when you cover the cake in the mousse. I've just put one layer on the top of it, and then it's not meant to look sort of perfect. You can have it all splattery, peek it up with you know, like this, so you can make all like peaks. Or you can make it smooth, it's entirely up to you, there's not really any rules. So the next thing I'm going to do is just put this one on top of it, and then I'll come back and show you where I'm up to. Okay, so that's the cake covered in the white chocolate mousse. You can smooth it a bit like this if you want to. You can make peaks on it by just hitting the cream, and it spikes up in a nice peak for you. Don't worry about the top too much because I'm going to cover that in some nice strawberries next. So you can cover it in whatever you like, whatever you think goes nice with white chocolate. I like strawberries and raspberries usually, but I just got strawberries today, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, so that's my white chocolate mousse cake with strawberries. The only other thing I do usually is just put a bit of drizzly chocolate on the top if it wants to drizzle. But obviously this is not live TV, but let's say it is live TV. Yeah, so that's it. Just drizzle as much of that over as you want, and then it's all done. Alright, so with that cake, put it in the fridge after you finished it, let it firm up a bit, and it's really tasty. The sponge is really nice, it's really nice and light, even though the mousse is shockingly unhealthy. But like I said, we need to pick me up in these times, don't we? So yeah, that's it from me today. Thank you, Helen, for bringing round some much needed ingredients, save me going out of the house. And yeah, again, hope you're staying safe, hope you're staying in. I do miss you all. And I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.